Okay. I'm here just to give my opinion on this MVP MMA card hopping in this week, this weekend. I won't talk about it long, but I think this is kind of just slop, bro. I'm gonna be honest. They picked a good week to do it. You know, the UFC card this week is not absolutely stacked. Why am I wearing my headset? The UFC card this week's not absolutely stacked, so I guess they picked a good week, but this card's low key slop to me, man. Um, there's genuinely one fight I'm looking forward to, and then there's three people I'm looking forward to. So I'm just trying to say, to me personally, maybe an MMA hardcore thinks this is an absolute banger, but me personally, who is a MMA casual, but I would say I'm a UFC guy. More of a UFC hardcore maybe. I don't know, bro. But you know, I watched a little PFL here and there. I watched that BFL the other time last week. There's some other MMA stuff I'll watch, but I'm mostly a UFC guy. But yeah, to me this is just some slop. It's just kind of like whatever, man. So I'm not doing predictions on this card. I guess my predictions will be the three fights of the people I like. That's who I'm picking, basically. But the other whole card in the general, man, I don't got picks for this thing. This is what we're looking at. Uh, you know, I like Chris Avila a little bit. Part of the Nate Diaz camp, right? So I like Chris Avila a bit. So I hope he wins. Otherwise, I don't really care for the fight. The Adriano Morales versus Muhammad Makayev fight was kind of a banger, but now that Muhammad Makayev's out, I just kind of want Morales to win now. But I really don't really care about his opponent. And the other fight is obviously Francis Ngannou. Um, Probably gonna beat Felipe Lins, so Ngannou is cool. So those are the three people I care about: Avila, Morales, and Ngannou, where I hope they all win their fight. And then like the only fight like I genuinely care about as a whole is Nate Diaz versus Mike Perry. They both kind of got a little BMF in them. Nate Diaz fought for the BMF belt, and Mike Perry doing bare knuckle boxing is crazy. BMF, man. I do think in MMA wise, I think Nate Diaz is gonna win, but otherwise I think that's such a banger fight to me. But otherwise this whole card's just whatever, man. Like I know it's Alex Pereira's sister, but like do we genuinely care that much? Um this is like whatever to me. 8-1 versus 19-10. Like 8-1's probably gonna win. I'm not predicting, but like I know this Jackson guy beat Amazov. That's all I know about him. This is just whatever. This is just either gonna be Junior Dos Santos takes down Robbie Sisplain in a boring fight, or Robbie Sisplain knocks out the corpse of JDS. This is I don't even know what this is. I'm a casual, guys, and this is just a horrible main event. I don't care about Ronda Rousey. I saw a thing about Gina Carano is that she retired before Max Holloway made his UFC debut, and that was like 17 years ago. So I didn't know it's been that long since she's last fought. I didn't even know who she was when this fight got announced, and and it's been 10 years for Rousey, and I wasn't in MMA back then, obviously. So uh a 7-1 record from Carano is kind of crazy for like this big legend that she is, that they're trying to hype her up to be. 7-1, 12-2. Like I don't know, man. To me this is just some slop. And they picked a good week because they're going up against this UFC Apex card, where I'm gonna watch this whole card. I'll be honest, but if I'm being very critique, like these three fights are kind of whatever. This fight's kind of like it's a bad fight, but they both kind of suck. So I'm kind of like excited to see who wins. This isn't horrible. I know this fight changed. This is kind of I'm entertained by this fight too, low key. Tuco Tokos versus Ivan Urslan. Ivan Urslan's like 0-3, and Tuco Tokos is not that good, but I think Tuco Tokos is going to win, but I don't know why. This fight excites me too. This one's kind of good too. I like Varentikov and Chaos Williams kind of good. Sapaj is cool. Bukauskas is cool. This is a banger. Wellmaker Diaz is a banger. That's a sick fight. Choi versus Santos is a sick fight too. They're both exciting. And then obviously the main event, Allen versus Costa, is a sick fight too. So obviously they're not going up against a pay-per-view or a really good UFC fight night card. So I get it. But I'm still going to be watching this over the other thing, man. I'll be honest. So even though there are some trash fights on here or fights that I just don't care about, I'm gonna still watch them because, you never know. The worst cards in the UFC are always deliver, I feel like. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, that's all. Damn, I feel like I got like a shock of excitement talking about this UFC card after having to talk about this MVP card. Low key. I'm literally gonna watch back and see what my tone of voice and everything was. I feel like I'm like louder or more excited now. What the piss? Okay, anyways, yeah, man, this was a super short video. I just wanted to talk about this. To me, this is just some slop, man. Damn, I was low-key felt like oh my, hold up. Bro, I low-key felt like I was like depressed for a second talking. Thinking back on it, I felt like I was talking like I was depressed, bro. Now I have like energy. Because when I started talking about this. Anyways, dude, to me, this is just some slop, man. I might watch the Avila fight because it might be early. I probably won't watch the Morales fight, but I hope he wins. I honestly probably won't watch any of the fights except for the Avila one because it might be early enough before UFC. I'll probably tune into Ngannou, probably knocking out Felipe Lins in the first round. And then other than that, I'm not watching this main event, but I probably will tune in for Nate Diaz, Mike Perry. As I said, that's the most exciting fight on the card to me. That's all I really care about on this card besides the people, but like this is the only like two people in the fight that I care about. So I might watch Nate Diaz, Mike Perry, depending what is on at the time of the UFC, what fight's going on. But I feel like this is like obviously not the strongest UFC fight night card, but I still think it's pretty good. Like these top three fights are bangers. Alan Costa, banger. Choi Santos, banger. Wellmaker Diaz, banger. I know Bukowski has a new opponent, but he's cool. Sopaj, as I said, is cool. These guys are both a little cool. This is just going to be a funny goofball fight because they both aren't that great. Same with Brundage Petrosky, man, to me. I don't know, man. That's just all I'm trying to say. Yeah. I obviously dropped my predictions for these earlier. Actually, I don't even know if I dropped them yet. Okay, wait. By the time this video is out, my predictions for this card are out. That's all I know. All right. But, yeah, I keep going back and forth and just delaying this video. Who cares? Like, Nate Diaz, Mike Perry as a main event to me would be sicker instead of Rousey Carano. Like, kind of crazy. So, whatever, man. This is some slop. It's going up against this, and I think this is a little better, even though it's not great. But I think it's still more interesting. Dude, I'm literally going to rewatch the video and see how depressed I was. I feel like I wasn't this, like, energetic and exciting and, like, happy at the beginning of this video when I started recording, so. Anyway. That's it, man. Oh, I don't know, man. That's all I got to say. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff, man. I'll catch you guys probably in the recap. I might drop a recap for Alan Costa. If Costa wins, I'll 100% drop a recap because I love Milk Gazelle Costa. And I want to talk about him more if he wins this fight and where he is in the division. But if he loses, I don't know, man. It's just, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if I drop a recap video. That's it, man. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. I appreciate y'all. Deuces.